Welcome to everybody. I am Devakumar M C, Associate Professor in Botany, Veerashav College, Ballari. So the today topic is that anaerobic respiration and the fermentation for the sixth semester students. So the respiration is a process in which the oxygen is consumed and the carbon dioxide is given out. Normal respiratory process consists in the oxidation of exhaust sugar or the organic substances with the help of the oxygen. This kind of the respiration which requires the free oxygen is called aerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration it occurs in all living organisms both in the plants and also in the animals. Animal respiration is essentially an aerobic process and ceases altogether if oxygen is not available. In many plants, one of the most important, the unique characteristic features of all the living plants is their ability to respire even in the complete absence of the atmospheric oxygen for a while. So, this kind of respiration is called anaerobic respiration. During the anaerobic respiration, the glucose is not completely oxidized into the carbon dioxide in the water, but instead it undergoes the incomplete oxidation and it forms the various intermediary product. The energy is also released in the process. In such a case, the chemical changes involved may be represented by the following equation. For example, the one molecule of the glucose is converted into two molecules of ethyl alcohol and two molecules of carbon dioxide. In the anaerobic respiration, the food material is incompletely oxidized to intermediate product, the oxidation being brought about by intramolecular and intermolecular atomic shifts. In the anaerobic respiration of certain fungi, for example, the common mushroom, carbon dioxide is produced and no ethyl alcohol is formed. The next part, it is the fermentation. The term fermentation is often used loosely as synonymous with the anaerobic respiration, or it is a special reactions of the yeast and the bacteria. In the fermentation, the one molecule of the glucose is converted into two molecules of ethanol and two molecules of carbon dioxide. Fermentation, like glycolysis, is a sequential series of reactions that occurs in the absence of oxygen. In fact, there is a very little difference between the fermentative process and the glycolytic process. Most of the intermediate reactions being found in both ways. Two types of the fermentations are very typical and the common. One, alcoholic fermentation occurs in the higher plants, some bacteria and yeasts. The second, the lactic acid fermentation is the characteristics of animals and the bacteria. In the alcoholic fermentation, the pyruvic acid it undergoes the decarboxylation in the presence of the enzyme carboxylase and then it forms the acetaldehyde. In the presence of the enzyme alcoholic dehydrogenase and the coenzyme NADH2, the acetaldehyde is reduced into the ethyl alcohol. This type of the fermentation it is commonly called as the alcoholic fermentation. The other cases of the fermentations are the butyric acid fermentation and the lactic acid fermentation. In butyric acid fermentation, the end products are butyric acid and carbon dioxide and hydrogen. This is brought about by a number of the bacteria, mainly Clostridium butyricum and Bacillus butyricus. All of these are obligate anaerobes and act on starch, sugars, and the lactic acid. The common example of the butyric acid bacteria, butyric acid fermentation, is observed in the butter which has turned rancid. The process goes on according to the following equation. In the lactic acid fermentation is brought about by a number of the bacteria and occurs during the souring of the milk. Some of these are anaerobic while others are the aerobic. Both are found in the milk. and the former being found in the deeper layer of the milk and the later in the upper layers. They ferment the lactose of the milk with the production of the lactic acid. The fermentation is the major energy yielding process of a variety of the organism. The microorganisms in such cases are called anaerobes, anaerobes since they are capable of existing and breaking down the organic compounds in the absence of the oxygen. Some of these organisms will die if exposed to any appreciable amount of the oxygen. In this case, they are called obligate anaerobes. An example of this type of the organism would be Bacillus botulinus, which causes the often fatal disease botulism. Thank you.